Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Connections Collective for one of the final sort of last Connections Collective experiences here.
I have a feeling it's second to last.
Second to last, not
more
the
to talk
last, but we'll talk more about that later. I'm joined, which is becoming like a normal thing, by my cohort, my heterosexual life mate, Tinker.
I'm okay with this.
You're okay with
this? Do you get the trench coat or I get the trench coat?
I think we both get one.
I'm okay with this.
And we both keep the beard. We're just.
Well, if I think I need to give you guys some
No.
privacy.
And then Bliss, thank you so much for joining us.
Back from the grave.
Yeah.
Back from the pineapple at least.
That's my autobiography title.
Back from the pineapple.
We were also joined here by one of the unofficial mascots of the Connections
I
Collective.
thought it was me.
Planty.
And also some ladies joining us.
Planty. And then
Planty.
say hi to Planty. Planty
Planty.
is one of my favorite characters. And we also have Community too. She's here.
I thought I was the
The
unofficial
best
mascot.
person.
You thought you were the mascot?
I was the. I don't know. You said, and we also have here the unofficial mascot, and I was like, well, there's only one person left, so no. Okay,
You can't be a
Planty is the
mascot and be
mascot.
unofficial.
The unofficial mascot, Suki.
Yeah, Suki. So we are here because we are nearing the end. We're nearing the finish line, and we wanted to kind of get together and talk with you guys. So here's some things that we're going to talk about tonight, because I want to be, I want to be forthright and honest with all of you. Some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. I want to talk about some of our favorite moments when it comes to Connections. I want to talk about some things that stood out in your mind, things that you're going to miss about Connections after the 2 days are up. I want to talk about some of the stuff you guys want to talk about. Some of the stuff that
I don't think we're allowed to talk about most of the stuff we want to talk about.
Some of the stuff that we're not going to talk about yet is I want to respect the medium. I want to respect.
It wasn't that good of a show.
It's
Medium,
stop.
not anything pseudonym.
No, the medium, the show. I want to respect Gary and Sabrina and the entire PR team.
God
and
bless Gary.
Gary, Sabrina, and that other guy.
yeah, and
Gary Two
What's
King
his
team.
name?
it's Gary, Sabrina,
RJ.
RJ. But RJ left. He's no longer part of the PR team,
Oh.
so that's why I didn't include him.
I didn't realize he left.
Yeah, he
How
left.
did I miss that?
He was fired.
What?
RJ got fired.
How did I miss this?
And left, and then on his way out the door was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, V pushed that guy off the roof."
Yep.
Crap. See, this is what happens when I'm working a bunch of hours and I miss little random things that everybody else knows.
I think
Oh
it
my gosh.
happened in the lead up to Friday.
It's okay, I don't know anything.
Thursday or Friday.
It's fine.
So but we want to respect that, and so it'll come to a point when we're able to talk about that. This is not the last Connections Collective. It's not the last of the channel itself. The channel, we've decided, after Chameleon and I had some long conversations about what we wanted and how much fun we've been having sort of hanging out with you all of you and having tamarind martinis. We've decided to keep the channel going. We're going to do some interesting things coming up on the channel. We'll keep you guys abreast of it. I want to explore like some of the cool stuff that Florida has to offer, some of the unique haunts and experiences. I want to explore some more ARG possibly. And we have some other plans coming up. She's going to, I think Chameleon's going to work on some cosplay on the channel and do some crafty fun stuff.
I'm going to try to take him to a LARP.
We're going to go to a LARP.
Wait, him?
Both
Okay,
of
I'm
us.
going to try. I'm
Wow.
going to take everybody to a LARP.
We're all gonna
Chop
go.
liver
By
tonight.
everybody.
I'm telling you, just chop liver.
He specifically asked.
But
Would you mind taking me to a LARP?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Now I'm going to take Scribe to one, and then I'm going to take Chameleon to a different one.
And mine's gonna be cooler.
sure,
I'm coming along whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
there you go.
Zuki will be there.
Yep.
So okay.
She's gonna be LARPing as a dog now.
And Planty will be there. Hey, Planty. So let's talk about Connections. As we're nearing the end here, as we're getting close to that.
I think we need to discuss what connections we're talking about at this point. Are we talking about it overarching? Are
I'm
we talking about the
talking-
website? Are we talking about the connections that we form with each other?
Oh, jeez. I want to talk about the entire experience.
Well, that's technically called no filter.
Yeah. Like, so no filter. Let's talk about no filter and the things that stood out to us, and the things that we really enjoyed, the things that made us happy. Like, what are some of the things here and with everyone that sort of like stood out?
I got
Like
to meet this little girl.
story wise or like in general?
I'm good with in general or story.
I think in general, my favorite thing was honestly just meeting everybody.
Meeting everybody.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I will say that in their previous shows, it has been very much like small kind of cliques formed because they were like, these are the people that I actually did the experience with. And one of the things that was nice with this was because of the fact that it was a longer experience for a larger group of people, there was still a little bit of cliquism between like the Discord and the Slack.
Right.
But in general, I feel like we talked to more people.
It definitely felt like branched out. Like there were possibilities in past experiences and past shows where you could make it through the entire thing and not talk to a particular person or not talk to a particular like sort of group of people. But this one, I felt like the experience for me was enriched exponentially by talking with other people and being able to experience things with other people.
I mean, in particular, you and I had spoken before about different things from like Penumbra and When Shadows Fall, but I don't think I really believe that like the people that I'm sitting on this couch with, but maybe with the exception of Audi because I knew her for a little bit better because I saw her basically every time I went.
I was always there.
I knew of you guys but didn't really know you, and I feel like I've gotten to know you and Tracy more.
Okay, okay. So I'll say this too: when this experience started, I'm not a plant.
Are we
However,
You played it like you were.
I played it like it was because I was like a dog with a bone. Like anytime something opened up, like I was jumping for it, and I was sort of digging in and exploring. And yes, like I totally get the fact that like people thought I was a plant. It was not surprising to me.
okay, me too.
So I was not a plant.
To the point, and you know what? I'm going to reveal one tiny thing from Friday. I walk up to this man on Friday night, and his first words to me were, "Tinker, there's something I need to tell you. I've been a plant this whole time." To which I believe my response was, "You mother."
Yes, you mother effer, and yeah. But I will say that even though we are not plants, you and I definitely from the jump decided that we were going to go into this together.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, we decided that we were going to make things happen.
Yeah,
Like we were going to.
before it even started.
Yeah.
Like as soon as we heard about it, you and I were talking and theorizing, and then I know that you were the first person I messaged as soon as I bought my ticket.
Bionic did an LOL to played as such. Yes. Like as I played as a player.
Absolutely.
Emma, me too. Green, I think the online aspect kept some people away. So let's talk about that, because I know for a fact that I got reached out, and I don't know if you guys experienced the same thing, but several people talked to me and were like, I did not enjoy this production because I didn't want to take the time. I'm not going to name any names, but there's one in particular who was an influencer who never logged on to Connections once. And didn't get into the story, didn't get into what was happening, and the online connection definitely pushed some people away.
Yeah.
Like,
But I
had
think it could be argued the opposite too. That for some people, they might have liked that because they're not as comfortable in the social settings.
It's true.
Yeah.
But
Caltoon says, I had a friend that I couldn't convince because it was mostly online.
I will say that it definitely attracted a different style of player.
Okay.
In that, I feel like there were two types of players that were really drawn to this,
Yeah.
and that was people who would not have been able to, just like Nina said, people that would not have been able to participate in any way.
Well, I mean, and that's true. And Nina brings that up, and Tom Green kind of does the flip side of the coin, saying his partner felt excluded because he just isn't an online guy. So
Yeah.
we had the group of people, and Nina, I'm so glad that you were able to participate in this because you were such a force of nature in being able to organize a rebellion and organize a group of individuals.
But she's right. If it hadn't been online, she wouldn't have been able to play it.
Yeah. Do we think this? Do we think that what Emma says is true? That it played to a niche of player base?
See, I think because it was Cinema Productions and they've done certain things, people expected what's been done in the past,
Okay.
and they got something completely different.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if we can discuss it tonight, but this whole production has been very much a departure from what they have done in the past.
I think that the online was necessary for, and once again, we can't talk, but for the message that it was trying to convey, the online was necessary.
Yeah.
But for me personally, although I enjoyed it because it was very unique, there's something that I really love about the majority of it being interpersonal interactions.
Yes.
Simply because I am so busy, my work life is so all consuming that
Keep going.
it's really nice to jump into an event, an interaction, and jump in 150%, and then go to work next day and not think about it because I'm so busy,
Yeah.
and not have missed anything. Because there were times when I felt like I was trying to play catch up because I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't online for the past 2 days because I've been immersed in work and everything else, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I missed so much. What have I missed? What have I missed?
And I think I prefer the in-person ones because I'm an extremely social person.
Really?
Really,
hadn't
I like
noticed.
people for some
What?
reason.
No.
And online, I felt like, okay, yeah, we're talking, but like, I can't tell a tone. I don't know what you're talking about. I had messaged people who like accused me of like 10 different things, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Who are you? I don't like. I had a message like, oh, you're this. You can do this. I know what you're doing, and I'm like, what? What am I doing? This is news to me.
I will say
And it's
that
like, what?
the online nature of this did lend itself to a large amount of confusion and assumptions about people who may or may not have gotten an apology from me because of that. It was, I think the benefit that the in-person one had was that it was contained. Like you knew pretty much right from the get-go if someone was a player or part of it.
And there was a beginning and an end. I mean, yes, you could do research beforehand online and that sort of thing, but
But even
there
then,
was
there
a
wasn't that
beginning,
much.
a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, like, because this is where like we're seeing both sides of it. On the other hand, I love the component. I love the aspect of people in California and in New York
Yeah.
and in Florida. You know, people all over the place that were able to be involved.
Yeah.
Whereas normally there's no way
They won't
that
be
that
able
would
to.
happen.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. 'Cause I remember I made a
So-
couple friends who are in New York, who are in California, who now I talk to on a daily basis. Like I wouldn't be able to know that it was an in-home thing.
Emma saying, I was trying to pull up the chat. It's really hard to read on the TV right now. But
Yeah.
Tinker, a few nights ago, you said something to me. This is Emma. When I had some serious paranoia, you said, I think part of the point of it was that you never know who someone is online.
Yeah, I think that definitely was an aspect that they played very heavily on,
That's a big reason why I left.
especially
Arcane
on
is saying
Friday.
missed you.
Aw.
Especially on Friday, and I can't wait till we can actually discuss it because some of the stuff that happened on Friday I think would be great to talk about for this, but we
Yeah.
can't. But yeah, no, that absolutely is definitely part of it, and they leaned very heavily into that.
And that was a big paranoia thing for me. that's legit the reason why I left, because there are people posting things that I'm not getting too into it, but something that was extremely personable to me.
Oh, yeah.
That I only told maybe 2 or 3 people know about this, and stuff and imagery
I didn't
compared
know
to
that
this
was that.
were posted.
Well, and there was some stuff that was posted on mine
Yeah.
that I never saw, thank goodness.
Mhm.
Like, he saw it before I did and
It's the
took
same
it
thing.
off. But it's stuff that
You've been replaced. Carl.
it might have broken me. Like,
Yeah.
it's stuff that I'm really grateful. And now knowing what it was, I can intellectualize and go,
Yeah.
wow. But you know, it's
Because
amazing
someone posted
how,
that, something posted on your wall, something posted on my wall. And personal stuff, and because again, I've only told 3 people that, and in my head, I'm like, which 3 of the people that I told posted this?
right.
Who did this? So that's a big reason why I was like, I have to go.
Well, and my
I
stuff, it could
can't.
have been that they didn't know that about me. It could have been that they just posted it.
Mhm.
But,
Which is probably what happened, probably what it was.
Yeah,
But-
I remember
but,
seeing
like-
that on a couple of different pages. But I think it was, and that's the thing. I think that
That's the way that, because, and also I was connected with 81 people. Like, I saw everything. It was terrifying.
Okay, so did you talk about this, Tinker, a few nights ago? You said
yeah,
something.
yeah, talk about that. We
What
didn't
about-
talk about Jeff yet.
I think the online portion of this took too much time out of everything else. To truly enjoy it, I think it required just a lot of time.
It did require a lot of time.
Green says a story I shared with Taylor was taken from my private messages and shared as an online
Oh
post.
wow.
Yeah, someone. Okay, so I had a post with Archer posted. It was just me being really gay. I'm like, surprise! I love all my friends.
Yeah.
But then there was another one that was super personal that was put up and then immediately taken down. And then I got a message from V saying, I protected you today.
Cora says,
Cora.
hey. So, hey, Cora. We love you. Keltoon, do you think some of the things posted were planted things or people really diving into this concept and exposing in real life info from before the game?
I fully believe that, maybe not all of, but a good 90% of what got posted during the V times were people just,
Yeah.
Trolling.
well, people being given the opportunity to do what they want.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Anonymity gives people a feeling that they do what they do doesn't have consequences.
They can
Right.
be as horrible as they want to, and
Yeah.
no one knows.
Well,
Well-
and Arcane, I think you're right. Like, they are known for taking you out of your comfort zone,
Super
and they
impressive.
did mention that. And yes, like we all signed off on being out of our comfort zone, but I think we all probably have triggers that hit us harder than others.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so even though, yes, I know going in that there are going to be things out of my comfort zone, and I feel like Pseudonym is really good, like in general, about hitting us with things out of our comfort zone, but there are certain areas that just kind of get avoided because they're especially hurtful.
'Cause they
it's not
say-
just a comfort zone thing. When regular people started hitting
Yeah.
people with stuff, that's when
It got bad.
What is it? What's it saying? An individual person is good. People are evil.
Evil. But we gave. I think this is. It's horrible. Like some of the stuff that happened was horrible. This is groundbreaking. This is giving the keys of the asylum over to the inmates for a period of time and then yanking control back like they did. It sucked at times. Believe me, I know that it sucked at times, and like I feel awful for you, Bliss. But psychologically speaking, like as a people watcher, like
Oh, it was amazing.
it was insane to be able to see this and to have such a powerful effect happen on us.
It was-
Like, if
It
it wasn't
was-
for that one thing, I'd still be in it. I guess it's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
It was literally the prison experiment.
Yes.
Are you-
the Stanford?
Yeah. For those of you that aren't familiar, the Stanford Prison Experiment is they got student volunteers and they broke them up into 2 groups, prisoners and guards, and they put the prisoner volunteers into cells, and they had the guard students guard them, and they gave them free reign to do whatever they wanted. And within a week, they were doing like horrifying things under the auspices of because I can.
Okay, so what was the other experiment? Because it reminded me of this one, and I should know this as
Milgram?
psychology. The person in the chair.
Yeah, the Milgram.
The shocking,
Yeah.
like...
So there's also the Milgram experiment where, and this is actually a really good one for anonymity as well, where they would take 2 volunteers. One of them they would strap to a chair with electrodes attached to them, and a call box in the room, and then they would take the other volunteer to a different room with a giant electronic device that was designed to deliver electrical shocks. And ostensibly the experiment was to see how well people's memory improves through electric shocking. But the experiment was actually to see how far people were willing to go given certain parameters. And so like it would start off with where if the person got the question wrong, it would be like a tiny shock, and then but it just ramped up and up and up to the point where like the person was no longer responding, and then they were no longer making any noise, and it was, I mean, obviously it was faked, but
Yeah.
it shows that in certain circumstances, if you take away the humanity aspect of it, because they ran the Milgram experiment a bunch of different times in a bunch of different variables, like where you can see the person, where you can't see the person. But whenever you couldn't see the person that you were doing things to, or didn't know who they were,
Taylor.
what?
Well, and us.
And
Yeah.
us. But
Yeah.
but Taylor becoming the representation of the person, like some of the stuff that I remember them screaming, "Please stop! This is hurting! Ow, God! Please stop! Please stop!" Like I'm immediately flashing back to Taylor, like in that one time where we're all gathered around her with candles and she's screaming.
Oh my God!
Like I'm sorry.
No one said
Like,
it first night. She is Connections.
She is Connections.
What we
And-
did, what people did to each other on Connections, they were doing it to her.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and
that's sad.
Arcane Ravage is talking about things coming in the finale that address a lot of these things. I know we can't really talk about the finale, but we can talk about what's out there. And was it Nina who posted that kind of that thing on Connections today, speaking to all of this?
It's gorgeous. If you haven't found it, and I need to share it. But Nina, I hope you're in the room because we're gonna gush on you a little bit. Nina posted this sort of gorgeous thing talking about this gorgeous post about. She's got a couple of good ones, but in particular,
All
this
of
one
those are
about
good posts.
duality and things of that nature, and it sums up for a few of us our experience with the platform and with Connections and things of that nature. So I do want to, while you're...
There it is, okay.
Do you have it?
Sometimes masks don't hide that one.
Yes.
And I don't even want to bore, I don't want to say bore you guys with reading the whole thing because it was beautiful. Every word of it was beautiful and perfect. But I guess I'll take pieces of it at least. But I encourage you to go onto Connections and read it if you haven't. Sometimes masks don't hide, they reveal. Over the weekend, I've been reflecting a lot on the last week's experiences. We've all talked considerably about masks we wear, and we've spoken of ripping off the masks as if masks are always a deceitful thing, and the removal of them is the only way to show our true selves. Not that I ever like to be controversial, but I do not completely agree with this. While in some cases, people wear masks to cover their true feelings, to hide their vulnerability. In other cases, masks help others hear us when we truly express ourselves. Sometimes masks help us communicate our true selves. And I think this was really cool because I think we talked a lot about that in the beginning. People talking about being uncomfortable with posting selfies on regular social media sites, and all of a sudden they felt empowered to do it here. They felt empowered to share aspects of themselves that they didn't really normally share
Yes.
through Connections.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So I totally agree though. Like there's so much of this that this experience was, and there's no definitive answer. Caltoon said, "Do you think the game was designed for people to hide behind the screen and troll and do some of those awful things, or to kind of expose a bit about human nature, or was it for us all to rally forward and be our better
all
self?
of
Like
it.
all
Yeah,
of it?
all of the above.
I think the whole.
I don't think
I-
the We Connect thing, they were expecting that. I think they were letting us take a side and that person would have won.
Arcane brought up this was the most I've ever used social media,
Oh, yeah.
and
Everything, Junkie JD, everything.
all right, Junkie JD just got here, so we just sort of revealed who's a plant and who's not.
Yeah, it's a real shame that they missed it. 'Cause they explained so much.
Yeah, and I don't think I can ever go back. And,
Yeah,
and-
I think it would be doing it a disservice to go back and reiterate.
yes, we were just gushing about the show. Thank you, Emma. But I mean, and
I did.
is it the same for all of you guys? Like, I'm taking a break off Facebook.
Oh, God. I'm just.
I mean, to be fair, this is actually the most that I've used social
You talked
media
about
in
this.
a long time. I don't really use Facebook much. I mean, I use Messenger a lot, but I don't take selfies. I don't do much like online. So
Green brings up the release of the password for a select few and then for everyone was brilliant.
almost
terrifying.
everyone. There was
is
still a
what it
group.
was.
From what I understand,
V's army.
I believe Emma figured this out. There was a group of like 9 people that didn't get their password released at all.
Throughout the whole experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet you those people who are like especially just kind to me. I'm telling you that now because I think if I would have saved my password, I would have leaked. I'm gonna be bold enough to say that, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have.
Your
If
password
I
wouldn't have got
leaked.
if you had what?
If I had saved. And the only reason, and I can say this now, is that V was generally kind to me back.
But your password did get
Like
leaked
not
before you left.
constantly, no, it didn't.
Then how do they post all the stuff on
It was
there?
like on my wall.
They just posted
Oh,
as
okay.
different people.
Oh, I thought they posted like as you. Oh, that's serious.
Yeah, like directed at me. Because when I talked to V, she was like, "What do you want? What are you trying to get?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you."
Are you gonna bring up
And
art?
she slowly kind of broke down to a point where she was talking. She every email, every message was, "You remind me of Taylor. You have her spirit. You have her." And I was like, "This is really creepy, but thanks."
So after she go Taylor, you were
I was next.
Okay, but to be honest, V walked onto the scene and you immediately were like, I want that.
That one.
one.
That one is mine.
This is mine. You are my squishy, and I will call you squishy, and you will be mine.
This horrible broken thing, mine. I got it.
Yeah.
Is that why we're friends? You just get drawn to horrible broken things?
That's why we're all our friends. That's the
But
secret.
in
We're all
You
general-
guys have each other at least.
Yeah.
You got like 2 broken towers leaning against each other.
Aw.
Two broken Jenga towers.
But to a point, it was where the last thing that she was sent to me was, again, like, I protect you today. Doesn't matter who I protect you from. But just so you know, I did protect you today. And also it was, she started talking about Taylor and went, I had to, I couldn't, she couldn't, Taylor's fine. And I was like,
Okay, talking
Arcane
point.
brought up, I think We Connect was their biggest need to react to the players, meaning like the biggest kind of change or influence that
Wrench
the
in the
players
works.
had on the game
yes.
was the hashtag We Connect.
100%. Because everyone was picking sides. Everyone was like, oh, I'm on this side, or oh, I'm on this side. No one was being together. And then you guys were like, hey, maybe no sides. So we're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
I think that I mean it was fine that they did this, but I think one of the things that made this experience so confusing was the fact that short of like short of Nolan versus V, there weren't sides.
It wasn't the golds versus.
Right.
Well, it wasn't.
It wasn't the
It wasn't the
engineer.
office. It wasn't the office versus the labyrinth.
Yeah.
It was just people who had their own thing. Like there wasn't anyone that like you could point to and be like, this is a bad person.
Yeah.
I mean, and
I can't point to people to the bad people. No one was good. Is the separate other thing. Not no one was bad. No one was good.
yeah, and I mean in other productions, there have been people that like, yeah, they may not have been doing the best things in the world, but
They're obviously the person you want to root for.
Okay. So like I don't want to disregard the audience, but that is one of the questions I want to talk about. There are very few that got the password even a few days earlier, right? There was a silent first release, then select second, and then a mass third.
So the first was all of like V's like closest.
I got the
followers,
password at the same
and
time the
then
first
V.
people began to report their password had changed. Yep, that's a few days earlier. I was none of those. I was the one of those that never got revealed, says Arcane. We were instructed to observe, but not to make ourselves known.
Huh.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this Arcane must have been one of like the 9.
Yeah.
Did anyone else? Okay, so I harped on this a bunch on the Discord.
The
and
phishing.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone else got this email, but I got an email from Connections PR saying your email has been compromised. Please change it. And I was like, why would I? No, this is obviously a phishing attempt. You can't beat me at this. And then like a couple days later was when the passwords. Did anybody else get that?
No.
Like I was asking and asking.
No.
No one.
Just you.
Okay. I really
They're
feel
trying
bad.
to get your wellness money.
Well, I really feel bad for not like falling for it now because that is something that we'll never know what it was about.
You brought up a point
I tend to.
that Nolan was good.
I didn't say no one was good.
You don't think Nolan was good?
No,
Nolan was bad?
I think everyone had their faults.
Even Taylor?
Hey, Junkie just subscribed to
Yes.
Twitch Prime.
Woo!
Oh, thank you so much. I think you're our very first
Oh my
subscriber
gosh.
ever on the
Thank
channel.
you. It's really neat.
Not with Twitch Prime.
You didn't subscribe to Twitch Prime.
No, I'm just
There's the
regular
difference.
Twitch.
Get on that.
Yeah.
Twitch Prime costs money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Junkie.
Yay!
Actually, do me a favor. PM us something. We didn't announce this, but PM us something, and we'll send you a little something, something.
Ooh.
We'll send you a little.
We'll send you
something.
bliss.
We'll send you bliss. But Junkie, give us a little PM
Just on your
to
doorstep.
Indigo Chameleon, and we'll send you a little something, something. Maybe I'll break out the box.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wait, what box?
Box.
What?
You should get permission before you do that.
I should.
Given what's
What
in the box.
I got a box. It's a it's a furry box, and in it is memorabilia and fun little things from When Shadows Fall,
I know this box.
including a little vial of second string.
Ooh.
So Junkie, thank you so
Remember
much.
that time where I drank 6 glasses of second string of Carol's?
I got you guys. We connect.
Yay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You did a special thing.
Yeah.
You did.
But maybe we'll talk about that. But that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Watcher.
We can't talk about that because it pertains to Friday.
We can't talk about Watcher.
No.
Okay. Okay. Then.
Well, okay, so one thing that people
Not on the
and
stream,
it
at
kind of
least.
goes back
Later, tell
to
me.
We can't tell
it
you.
kind of goes back to what Arcane Ravager was saying
Taylor
about
was bad too. Everyone was bad.
about the We Connect influencing the story. With everything previous, because it was open close, because it was like an hour and a half experience, beginning to end, and not only was it that, and not only could you see where you were influencing the story and affecting it, you could go back and do the story all over again and see how your interactions and influences changed the story. And this, because it's one story from beginning to end, it was harder to see where our interactions changed
Yeah.
or didn't change the story.
I can honestly say that the non-repetitive nature made it so that I felt like I had no hand in anything. It could be that it's. I think the description that I was using was in When Shadows Fall, and even with the Study of Dreams, even though I only did it once, you could see the brushstrokes. You could see like if I did a particular action, I could see the ripples that it caused. If someone else did a particular action, I could see the ripples that it caused in the story. But with this, because so much of it was online and the happenings were so few and far between, it didn't feel like I had any influence.
Did you miss it?
Oh, absolutely. That was one of my favorite things about When Shadows Fall.
Well, I feel like the hashtag We Connect was us, because that came from
Oh,
your
it
video
definitely
first,
was.
and then it came
Yeah.
from all of us.
But other than that, but that was a group thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like individuals
Yeah.
changed anything.
Like for instance, in When Shadows Fall, if I was with the engineer and we stole the device and took the core out, then that meant that the bomb didn't blow up.
Look at Nina though. Okay, this is profound.
There were 179 variables. How does Nina know this?
Because there were 179 players.
Oh,
That is profound. Nina.
wow.
Yeah.
I just want to know if there was if there were different endings.
So that's the thing. And we
They
had
won't
no
tell us
idea.
what they were, but I want to know if there was.
I think
Or do
they're.
you think the ending wasn't written?
I don't think we'll ever know. We may. It's a question to ask on Friday. Now, here's the deal. There is going to be an AMA on Friday with the cast and the crew. We are going to be streaming here on the Connections Collective so that people can submit questions online if you can't be there.
There's also a questions thread on the Discord.
There's also a questions thread on the Discord. So please go on the Discord and submit questions, and then maybe we can have you.
I'm going to make the disclaimer ahead of time because I tried doing a live stream from Ren Fair today and it said it was live streaming and it never went up, but the internet there was not great.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a test stream once we get to the place for the AMA and see if
Do
it's
you know
coming
where
up
it is
okay.
or no?
If it's
Mesa
not coming up
21?
okay, yeah.
In Orlando.
And if it's not coming up okay, then what we'll do is we'll at least record it so we can get it out there for you guys. But I'm going to try to do a test stream when we first get there
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna
make
wait.
sure that we're able to
We'll
get
break
it.
down the questions
Get
on
it
the
up.
Discord and give everyone a sheet of paper.
What I might ask is if somebody is going to be there other than Chameleon, if you could videotape,
Yeah.
so that if the stream for some reason doesn't quite
Yeah.
work,
I'll
we
videotape
could,
it.
we could always upload a video and
But we will get it up for you guys one way or another.
I want to know how many
Game pathing options there were.
pre-planned that we didn't even get close to, or if we blazed any new ones in. Emma, this is a great question.
I mean, we know for a fact that We Connect was definitely something that we did because there's no way they could have planned for that.
no.
That was something that we basically made
Okay.
up.
Is there? Oh my god. So is there? Did we vote? Was Connections always going to close down that weekend?
That is a good
I
question.
don't think so. I think if everyone said no, it would have stayed up and got worse.
It
Well,
got
Is what I
worse.
think it would.
A better question is at the very beginning, what if we had voted no and the Connections would never go live?
Emma says yes, there is a way they could have planned for it, but let's not go there.
AKA Scribes a Plan.
Oh God,
Scribes a Plan.
Emma, I'm gonna just text you something real quick.
Uh oh. Oh no.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Nina says "Viva la Revolution."
So,
Yeah.
Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no. I asked you. It's a one-word question.
Perfect. Okay, continue.
Yep.
Yep.
Good.
yeah.
I'm glad we are on the
Yep.
same page. That's a question for Friday.
We'll talk about
I
later.
can't say. Yeah,
It's
we'll talk about
fine.
later. We'll talk about later.
All right. Oh, Emma's in trouble.
Yep. What if it said no to keeping Nolan in the beginning?
That's right.
What? What happened? What just happened? What was it? No,
Like voting to keep Nolan around.
What if Nolan just fucked off? That would have been hilarious. I don't know why that would be funny.
That would have changed the end.
I actually what and what
What
if
part
we
did Nolan
had
play? Let's all
what if
be
we had
honest.
grabbed him?
here.
What if we'd let him just sit there and stew with V?
What if we hadn't grabbed Nolan? What if we hadn't grabbed the contract?
Oh, because he did give the note,
the
but what if you
happening.
hadn't followed through with the note and you had just left him
Because
there?
I know for a fact that in When Shadows Fall, there was
That would have
a
been awkward.
there was a time where I was supposed to go get something and I failed to go get something and it caused things to happen.
I got into a fight with a friend that I had brought to Shadows Fall. We just happened to be on opposite sides of the table, and he is actually he's a user. Hermando. Yeah. It was during a production with Shadows Fall. We got into a knockdown, like drag out, like screaming match where I was like, "You need to give me the plans right now!" And he's like, "No!" And like we're just screaming the hall. We were like, "Are these guys actors? Like, what is happening right now?" Like we got so into it, and I felt so bad because I actually drug him. Like Cora, if you're still watching, like we actually drug these people to the show, but this show was so hard to explain to people.
Yeah.
This show above all, like anybody that happened to stumble onto my like, hey, why do you have a second Instagram?
Yeah.
Like, hey, why do you have a second like Twitter, and like, why are you posting poses? Like,
We joined a cult. Don't worry about it.
like, what is going on with all of the stuff like in the poses and?
Does anyone else feel like the Neoga never really paid off?
I, for one, feel very well and happy.
That's a good point. Do I have Neoga? Do I have wellness points to get rid
Well,
of?
and Emma's saying the contract
I don't
wouldn't
have
have
an
mattered
account to give me
because
anything.
it was scanned previously. I agree that the contract didn't really matter because, well, in the wording of the contract, whether or not it got ripped up, destroyed, stolen, whatever, the contract was like
Well, I
that
think
had already
you're-
happened.
Well, I think you're both jerks because I helped steal that contract, and I think it
But
mattered.
it was a really good
You
so
suck at
fair.
reassuring.
standing
You
in
suck
support
at
for
reassuring.
Nolan,
You're the
and
worst.
it's a really good, kind gesture.
Did we ever play with each other when Shadows Fall?
No, because
You
you
and I
were
did
always we did.
Yeah.
You were always off in a corner with somebody. Like you were very specific about the people that you wanted to play with. Like it would have been like
There's a lot of kissy face.
if Connections restarted, like you know, and like there was a broader range of characters, it would still be like, well, I could go with Nolan, but I think I'm gonna go with my seventh time with V. Like I was like, or the
I played a different person
Nameless.
each weekend.
Yeah, the Nameless, Medusa.
I played with the surgeon. I stayed with him the entire time.
Oh, the surgeon! I busted out. I tried so hard to get him off the table, and I tried so hard, and then I booked it out of the surgeon's room, and I went.
I was with
AWOL, it
Nikolai
was
twice.
insane.
The first time I betrayed the crud out of him. The second time I was like, I'm gonna be on his side, and then betrayed the crud out of him.
I was in the really dark, creepy room with all like the flashing
Oh, the
lights.
cave?
Yeah, I was in the cave with Nikolai and Julian by myself, and they were both high off their
Not like
ass.
you're
And I was like, "What is happening? What do I do?"
Hold on, Bliss. Are you telling me that was the first time you've ever been in a dark room with flashing lights and two heavily drugged men?
That's not the point I'm trying to make here. It was weird.
What was your favorite part about this? Can you pinpoint one moment? For me, it was seeing Reconnections take off.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Like the wildfire. Like after we got back the system, after like because it was a barren landscape. It was an apocalyptic wasteland.
I feel like WeConnect is what we've all taken away from this. Like, I feel like WeConnect wasn't, yes, it was a game element. It was something that got introduced to the game. But I feel like it became a representation of what this group of people has become.
Oh, I'm getting
And
it.
I feel like it's outside of the game now. Like, I feel like it started there, but it hasn't ended, and it's not going to end.
I priced the tattoo. I priced the arm tat like of just a little hashtag reconnect. Like
I'll go get it with you. I will.
I don't.
Done.
I don't want to forget this. Like I don't want to forget some of this encouragement to reach out and break away from my comfort zone. Like to like that first day. I remembered like buying coffee for somebody in line at like Dunkin' Donuts and just saying like, "This is for Taylor." If they ask me who bought you this is for Taylor, or like I was at work the other day. And there's this guy that I work with at work, and we always sort of pass each other and we say hello in the hallway. And we passed each other, we said hello in the hallway, and I stopped and I was like, "Hey man, I don't think I've ever said this. So that's a really cool bag. Is that a D20 on the bag?" And we just.
Do you have a bag of holding?
He had a bag of holding, and we talked in the hallway for a good 10 minutes about D&D and gaming and stuff like that, and it was like, it was such a, it was, I'm 100% going with you guys for reading but it was such a unique moment to me, and it was
Arcade Ravender's joining you for a tattoo.
Honestly, I'll tell you what, guys.
Oh my gosh.
If any of you Central Floridians, I know a great place in town, but I'm willing to go somewhere else.
What was the price?
My price wasn't bad. My guy was going to do like 75.
Really?
Like, yeah.
How big was it?
Pretty big.
No, not Friday night, Emma. We're
Not going to
So the other weird thing that happened that sticks out in my mind was when Connections was like in its
infants, like right before Connections was supposed to officially launch, and the government shutting it down, like coming in, it broke the wall for me. Like I got a weird feeling of like this is intense.
Yeah, there was
like,
some blurring.
Like there was some blurring there. Like I became a little paranoid. Like I don't know if anybody else experienced this. Like any weird sort of like.
I know Emma absolutely did.
I get paranoia when I came over here and the light started flickering on and off. That was
Still don't know what that was.
terrifying.
Honestly,
It's the
I
cats.
love how when
Cats.
I think it was the first time I was over here, and I just kept saying her name, and the lights would flicker every
Yeah,
time I
that's
said
what
the
we're
name.
talking about.
Yeah, that was good. I have no idea what that was.
That was not good because it hasn't happened since.
It hasn't.
Well, not
It
good.
What,
happens
have you
right
not been
now.
saying Vokarev?
What?
It's fine. She's fine.
I missed that.
I think.
I don't think she can. Oh, never mind.
Just don't say her name 3
I
times.
think the moment that really hit me the most was when that video was sent of Nolan first spying on Taylor.
You hated that. You hated that. So
I
badly.
literally, because I was at work when that video came out, so I opened it because I had nothing to do at work. I can't do my job, and I saw it, and I had to click out of the video, and I had to walk out of my job because it just hit me, and because the whole first week or two, whenever he was okay, I was constantly reaching out to him, constantly like, hey, I'll be your friend. I gave him my personal number. I was like, oh, I'll help you no matter what we can. And then that happened.
Junkie wins the internet tonight.
What?
Oh, we all love ...
And it was just a sinking feeling. And after even at that point, anytime I heard Nolan's voice, I was like, nope. I answered the phone. Hey, nope. I hung up. The only reason I know what Nolan said is from the Discord group. 'Cause I just couldn't. Because it made me so mad. And I'm continually mad about it. He's not a real person, but I will still be angry at him.
I think the thing that stood out to me was how quickly Taylor changed. Like, cause like you had the first night you had happy bubbly Taylor, and then over the course of the night she got a little bit darker, and then the next time we saw Taylor, she was Abigail. And then Abigail just got more.
Now,
and
Abigail
more.
was a thing before Taylor. as
But
well.
I should say,
But-
our perception of her.
Yeah.
Where, like, first we only knew her as Taylor.
I think the whole AV thing was just random. Yeah.
And it got darker.
Never joined the Discord.
You want to?
Yeah. Yeah.
should.
Hey kids, what's some
Yeah.
Discord?
Put up the link if it'll let you. I don't know.
That's
Some things have changed since we hit 50 followers. Some of the things have changed. Somebody tried to post a link a minute ago and it wouldn't let them, and I'm not quite sure why yet.
Are they
So if
seriously?
you can.
people not type the name Nolan or Volkarov?
No, on Connections, you used to not be able to do that. They're making fun of the fact
Yeah.
that
Oh,
Connections
okay.
used to
You're
not
being
be able to do that.
silly.
But he was just saying he never joined the Discord, and she was saying, "Do you want to?" And I said, "If you can post the link, go ahead. And if not, we'll figure out a way. I'll PM it or something, but I'll figure out how to post links in here again."
But yeah,
I just put spaces between the dots.
but watching her kind of, I mean, I don't want to use this word because it's
I
putting
bet I can.
putting judgment on her choices, but kind of the descent into darkness
Yeah.
of Taylor.
And I don't think even Abigail was in dark. Abigail was just being
Well,
manipulated.
that's the thing. At the beginning, she wasn't, but but Taylor and the circumstances surrounding her just got more and more
Yeah.
and more
What
dark.
a complex
And I think
person and character. Like she like I would love to dig into Nolan. I would love to dig into like to
And the really
V, but like
sad part about Taylor is besides like the two things we knew about her, we didn't know anything about her.
yeah.
No one ever asked. Everyone was too busy trying to figure out without Nolan and V.
Well,
Well, some of us weren't in the bathroom for that selfie. Thank you very much.
Some of us aren't
Some of
actually
you,
Taylor.
some of you went into that bathroom for that selfie, and that was your opportunity to ask personal questions.
But even in emails and stuff like that, everyone was like always trying to like tell her what to do. No one was like, "Hey, who are
Some of
you?"
those videos were disturbing as hell.
It was
tell
no one
Taylor,
was home.
Tell Taylor what to do. Tell Abigail what to do.
Like she was going through the motions, but no one was there.
And we had to have seen like a quiet, like a truncated version of the request. Like
Oh, I know.
can't imagine.
Mine was fairly tame. It was basically just tell us about yourself and it'd make it on there.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine the darker stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, no, one. It's
No, she's
it's
just
not time.
kidding.
It's not time.
She was like, bye. I want to Zoom.
However, Nina felt like it was more like people wanted to participate because it was what they paid for. They wanted the full experience. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But honestly, I walked away with some valuable lessons from this.
Yeah,
like nothing. There was a moralistic sort of lesson. Like I don't want to talk about like the end game or some of the stuff that happened, but I do want to talk about. Did you walk away from When Shadows Fall with a lesson, like a moralistic?
I feel like this one was a bit more Aesop than.
This When
game
Shadows
was
Fall left an
supposed to be
impression on me.
Yeah, but this one was definitely like they. Well, I'm not going to explain it, but I will say at the end of Friday, it was very pointed. The moral of the story.
And When Shadows Fall had like a moral. Like they played that thing at the end every night. But When Shadows Fall was impactful as a story.
Yeah.
And this was impactful as like a lesson.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we will be sure to talk about it, and I'm sure everyone by the time Friday rolls around, people will be there. I am unfortunately looking more and more like I'm not going to be there on Friday.
I feel for you.
I'm really sad and bummed out by this. So please, say hi, and I'll watch the vid. And depending on how late it goes, if there's an after party or anything like that, I love you guys. Yes, yeah, you two go, and everybody go and have fun.
Sounds dangerous.
And
It's a date.
and have a good time, and then maybe I can convince Chameleon to have an after party here at the house or something. We'll do pizza and games and stuff like that. It's a bit of a trek out from Orlando, but
After party. We'll be the fourth city.
I will point out that
Fourth city.
it would actually probably be faster for me to drive here than it would be to drive from over to Mesa.
Yeah, but anybody that wants to, maybe we'll do some stuff.
Oh God, I wish we could talk about Watcher.
Watcher. I want to talk about Watcher.
Once the camera turns off, we can talk about Watcher.
I still don't know what happened.
How about this?
Friday.
I will say this about Watcher, without touching upon anything that happened at the event. Some of us went to the very last show of When Shadows Fall.
Yes.
And during the last show, afterwards, we were all having a drink in the little lobby. I believe it was When Shadows Fall. I don't think
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
The lights went out.
And men with gimp masks came in.
Men with gimp masks came running through the room, handing out little cards.
And they
I was
said,
in the surgeon room at this point. I
Why were
didn't
you
get
in
to
the-
see it.
And I will share this as well.
we're going to discuss that later.
I got a box of stuff, and inside that box was a thumb drive with a plethora of information on it.
Also a bunch of weird
A
stuff.
bunch of weird stuff and a bunch of information. One of the messages had to be decoded, and it was from Watcher.
And the password was Watcher.
The password was Watcher, and when I clicked on the link, it was a camera that allowed you to zoom in, and it went boop, 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 and it kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it was right outside my house.
Which is amazing.
That's terrifying.
I would have killed for that.
I
Lucky.
got an
man.
envelope with a gold leaf in it. That's all I got.
I got.
Which is really weird.
I got to help destroy Penumbra. which is pretty
I killed
cool.
Kay Alexander, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We all killed Kay Alexander.
Oh God, I missed.
Wow.
So I shared with some people the link to Kay's blog.
Yeah,
That's a weird blog.
it's an interesting blog.
I posted a comment under it during this.
Uh-huh.
Like the last little, if everybody wants to go to his blog, I think it's in. I
I'll
think I
find it.
still have.
I'll find it and post it.
No, I have it saved. It's this is embarrassing that I still have this thing saved. It's notrueknowledge.wordpress.com. The last post is Penumbra.
Is it N-O or K-N-O-W?
KNOWTRUE knowledge. The travels and tales of Kay Alexander. The last post on this blog is Penumbra, perfectly harmonious.
Yeah. sure
And
was.
the last comment on there, I think there's 3 comments on there, but there's also a comment pending. It's awaiting moderation, and it says, "Man, I wish you were here," from Scribe.
Aww.
So
We all wish he was here.
Arcane's asking about being curious about to what the influencers are going to get in the mail.
That's gonna be interesting.
I don't think I'll get it because I pineapple. It's gonna be so sad.
No, you pineapple out of the experience. They didn't
Yeah.
refund you your money.
I will say this. Pseudonym Productions always delivers.
Yeah, they do.
And they deliver big. And trust in the email that they sent. That even though you haven't gotten it now, and you may not get it before Tuesday, trust in the information that was sent that you will get what was promised to you. What is the song? You can't always get what you want,
Can't
Yeah,
always
but
but if you try,
get
you just might find you get what you need.
And sometimes you just get weird shit.
In the mail, which I
in
am.
a fuzzy furry box.
Sometimes you get a golden leaf.
And sometimes you get a golden light.
Get a golden leaf.
You guys ready to hypothesize? What's next?
I'm okay. So
What's next is LARPing.
okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna touch on.
Whoa.
I'm gonna reach out and touch face.
That's for you, Nina.
I'm gonna touch on Watcher a little bit, in that I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people seem to think that Watcher is gonna be the next thing. I think that
Don't.
Those were all misplaced.
I believe that.
Transferring all my wellness.
Oh,
You booped, you get the wellness.
you know what? I will
plan.
transfer right back to you.
She did say boop the nose for wellness points. So you booped his nose, you get wellness
no,
points.
he gets
That's
wellness
how
points.
that was
did
my
not
answer in
clarify that.
Jackbox too.
Damn it! Right at the start of the stream, Remy sent me 98 wellness. Damn it, Remy.
So my thinking on Watcher is Watcher is to pseudonym as the Dark Tower is to Stephen King.
The connection point.
It is the point that connects all the different disparate stories.
Oh God, has anybody checked the countdown?
No.
It's been 30 something days
When did
from
you
last
guys?
yesterday.
I was going to check it today.
I haven't checked today, so it might have changed.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
So yeah, so that's my thinking on what it is.
I think Watcher's gonna be a little bit each show until they're ready for it.
What?
They already have.
I want to talk about Friday so
No.
bad.
No. I know. We gotta
Oh,
always keep them wanting more.
Okay,
So
next-
I mean, they mentioned
Sunday,
Arthea,
Yeah.
and they mentioned that in a video, so I can say it.
What?
Arthea,
Okay.
Kay Alexander's wife.
Yeah.
She's somewhere.
Yep.
She
Yep.
died from a mysterious disease that no one knows about.
I want to talk about the conspiracy theories and stuff, but I'm wearing the shirt that lovely Emma made for me.
okay,
Hashtag
so
Team Conspiracy Theory.
So can you craft a plausible theory that connects everything together without touching upon the ending that you saw on Friday?
I can't. I wasn't there on the ending. on
Yes, I have been working on one.
You have.
I have been working on a grand unified pseudonym theory
Are you ready to unveil it, or you want to wait?
on the GUPT. Don't say my theory, Tinker.
Don't say Emma's theory.
No, this is not your theory. Okay, so my theory is that they're pulling a Bioshock on us,
Ooh, please.
and that
Infinite Lighthouse.
it is always a man. There's always a lighthouse. There's always a city. Except for in this case, there's always a man. There's always a dream.
And
And
gets corrupted.
yes.
So
Because,
there's always a dream.
I mean,
Oh
think
my
of
God.
When Shadows Fall. Alexander, Penumbra, Nikolai.
Sorry, my brains are leaking out from my head at the moment. Okay. Yeah.
Study of dreams. You have Limbo, the literal dream, and the denizens therein, corrupting it. And also his obsession with his father definitely led to that
Do
corruption.
you know anything about Nolan's dad? Has anyone asked that? Because I feel like
Okay.
daddy issues is a major thing
So
in these shows.
theory, and then it's not provable in any way that Nolan is Limbo, and when he got out of the dream, he's like, "Well, I want to be connected to people, but I can't do the dream anymore. So how am I gonna do that? I'm gonna make a social media site."
And he meets a lady named Orthea,
Did I
who's
just
actually Megan.
did I break-
Because
did I break
Megan-
You just broke Scribe a little
No,
bit.
because I was making it too complicated. Like I was like, oh well, this person has to be connected to this, and this person to this. But you were like, I think they're pulling a Bioshock, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense though. There's always a lighthouse. There's always a man. There's always somebody with a dream, and the dream gets tainted or tarnished, and then like so are we seeing? Are we getting a glimpse of these parallel universes made public, which means
Well, my theory is that to tie in our friend Watcher.
under
The Good Place.
What?
Where he
you're
keeps
just
making
dropping names.
keeps
No.
making like a different universe each time, trying to make a certain outcome.
Sort of. It's my theory is that that Watcher, and I don't think it's one person. That
I don't think
Watcher.
the Watchers. I think it's the Watchers. I think there's a group of people.
I think
Junkie goes, would you kindly tell us everything you know?
Would you kindly?
Okay, so you ready? Can I piggyback on this?
Sure.
We are Watcher.
Ooh, I like that.
Because we are Watcher. We are the people that have been there from the beginning. We have
We are the witnessers of.
we
this-
are
of this
unwillingly
dream.
recruited into this organization.
We're gonna get.
Are
our
you
training
watching?
badges in the
Are you
mail.
paying attention? Let's play. We are Watcher.
That's.
The whole time. We've been doing their job for them.
I just went like grand unified universe, and then he had to take it meta. Why did he have to take it meta?
Because that's what Scribe does. Yeah, I don't know.
Which line?
What, Emma?
Which line of what?
Wait, you're forgetting one line?
Tell us.
I was just thinking about it on the Watcher website. We watch, we control.
We can.
Maybe
We do
Okay.
control.
I will. Hold on. I will say. Who's to say it's the same we?
We watch. We control.
We control what you see. We control which one of the ones you see. That countdown timer has reset with nothing happening that we are able to see.
Well, that's not completely true. The last time it reset before this most recent time, it was for
We see. We
Study of
document.
dreams.
We control.
opening night of Study of Dreams.
It also reset during the anniversary of one of the shows. For the anniversary of one of the shows.
They're play
The-
testing another.
I mean, it could just be Ricky and Sarah as like their calendar.
We see. We document.
Could be
we
Ricky and
control.
Sarah's being like, "Hey, you want to fuck with us?"
I think we document is really.
Yeah, that we document. It's interesting.
Well, I wonder who documents everything on this couch.
Oh no, hold on.
It's down.
What it? Oh, wait a minute.
You can see the
Teen
gears.
conspiracy theory.
It's
steam coming out of your ears.
What-
right now? I keep getting further and further out of
What
me.
what if Watcher
Okay.
is? I mean,
Describe.
no. I say this because this is the only one that ever got a name. What if this is the Garys? What if the Watchers are the?
Is
Garys?
there more than one Gary?
Well, that's the thing. Ricky has played a minor background character in every production. He was the guy checking people in at When Shadows Fall.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that was there to bring people to Limbo in Study of
The guy with
Dreams.
pantyhose over his head. Does not give him too much credit.
Okay, so, I'm not talking on.
Thank you for the bits. 100 bits for Team Conspiracy Theory.
I'll take it.
Team conspiracy theory.
But I'm wondering if that's it. It's like
Ricky is Watcher.
well, not necessarily Ricky, but like the kind of the back, because Sarah's done the same thing.
Yeah, because Sarah's had a different name in each one.
Yeah.
Arcane,
I'm
who
wondering
said all
if, like-
future players will require accounts? Where was that said? Because it deleted the link. It wouldn't let you post it, but who was
What's
saying
the
it?
Republic.
Pseudonym.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't in Republic.
I remember. Well, y'all, things you have to remember. Republic is not canon, as per Ricky. It was a test for When Shadows Fall. It was them testing the concept of doing it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say that it was connected. I don't think it's connected to the entire
Is it
thing.
possible to do both?
What?
Is it possible to have a world where we have a sort of like if we had a permanent location like we did for When Shadows Fall, and to have also alongside of it this online presence? Like, is it possible to have our cake and eat it too? Because there are certainly parts of this, like Nina was such an integral part to this experience for me, and she couldn't have participated if this was strictly an on-location thing. But I did miss the visceral, like, going in and having, like, an hour or 2 hours of my life where I was so enveloped and could change.
You know what
and
I would
affect
like?
stuff.
I would like it if... Because... And I know that I've talked about this with a couple different people. I feel like having been in the world of Penumbra, that there were so many other stories going on that we just didn't see. We saw a snapshot, a couple of hours on a particularly bad day. But I know that talking to certain people, I would have loved to have been there the day that Kane got brought in, and Kay Alexander had to explain to everyone that yes, this former gang leader who tortured children is gonna be one of my right hand men in the office, or the day that they started talking about the experiments, like and like the discussion that
I
went on.
there the day Odessa turned.
Yeah.
The day.
But that's the thing is, okay, so connections change day to day to day to day, and it was a linear story.
Yeah.
Those other things reset every night at the beginning.
Well,
of
what
the
I'm saying
story.
is what I think I would like would be if they had like a set location, and
But
they
it keeps changing.
and they
The
kept
script
telling
keeps
different
updating.
stories.
As-
Junkie says, what about using the online thing as a prologue and an epilogue, but the event is the real deal?
I mean,
Like if we were able to follow characters like Nolan and Taylor and V in a situation, but then like come into the where but which they kind of
that's kind of what
did.
the happenings
I know
was.
they did.
Yeah.
What
the
I
only
think-
thing with that is that we never knew when a happening was happening.
I mean, I
I
think
think that was a big drawback to a lot of people because, oh, by the way, we're having a thing in 2 days. Well, I can't.
But
go.
nothing ever changed in When Shadows Fall. Like
well, that's
the
what I'm saying.
clock
What I
reset.
would love to see would be have a set location and have happenings, for lack of a better term. So, like for 2 weeks, they tell a particular story.
Okay, so you're not having to reset your actors every night with new scripts,
Right.
because that would be really difficult.
Right. So, like for 2 weeks, they tell a
Yeah.
story, and then they're down for like a month.
And then there's a new
And then,
story.
well,
with
but,
the same
there's like an online
characters.
presence where like they're talking about
Okay.
it, and they're like little things.
Once upon a time, I would talk about like a slumber party.
So
Like, let's
kind
stay
of like
overnight.
what they did, because for the other events, a lot of times there was stuff you could find online, like
Yeah.
you could look
Yeah.
and research and
We dug like hell that
yeah.
phone bank.
Oh my gosh,
like,
I had a composition book just
We
full
still have
of.
for When Shadows
It,
Fall.
it
when
looked like
dropped. We discovered a phone line where
Oh
you
my
could type
gosh.
in 3-digit code and kind
I
of like
spent like
bounce,
2
bounce, bounce, bounce,
days
bounce, bounce, bounce.
inputting every variable of phone number codes just to.
We started at 000 and we got to the 800s.
Oh my gosh,
Jesus.
it was insane. Like it looked like.
Why'd
a
you
very
stop? We're so close.
Obsessed.
They changed the
Person.
system.
Oh.
They changed it
They
to a
changed
4-digit code because I think we broke it.
They saw you were getting close.
I will say my coworkers will be happy. Yeah, I think I think it's going to be nice. Like there's parts of it, like our schedule going back into not having to spend $60 every week, surprising.
That
like
was-
every like you know, I think out of all the productions, I spent the
most money, on this.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, if you think you spent a lot, I know of a particular person that spent way more. Not myself. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
On this one?
Yeah. A particular person.
Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Emma
Gas
spent
money and
some
everything
money.
else. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'll call her out. She spent way too much. Here I am. She can come fight me. Let's go.
Yeah. Come fight us, Emma. That means you have to come back down here, though. So.
regardless. God, this was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
What a great game.
Excited.
What a great chance to meet people. I feel like certain people I'm so happy to see and interact with and in the wild today. We ran into a few people, like we ran into John at the Ren Fair today, and it was just such a good experience. I'm happy that you and I got closer.
Yeah.
God, like I'm happy that we could all just sit on the couch certain nights and talk and like
Emma
things.
disagrees.
Yeah. Nope.
Too much, Emma.
The real question is it over?
That is a
Think so.
really good question.
We don't know.
We're gonna get
And
texts all at the same
I mean,
time. Like
I
3
will-
months from now.
I will say that, and I don't feel this is giving anything away about what happened on Friday. On Friday, Sarah addressed us not as Sabrina but as Sarah and said, if it doesn't officially end until Tuesday, but this was the last happening. So, I have no
Something
idea.
might happen. Something that's gonna make everything.
we were glad to meet you too, Nina.
Yeah.
Nina.
And Bionic, yes,
So-
Emma, Arcane, Emma. I tweeted something about letting didactic storytelling only being important if you let it affect you. What did you let affect you, and why did you let this experience change you?
Holy crap, that's a loaded question.
I kind of feel like I cheated a little bit because I feel like I may have inadvertently played it in a way that protected myself from a lot of it
Yeah.
because of the fact that I was playing it where I wanted to have as little wellness points as possible. I feel like I may have cheated myself by not throwing myself as fully into it as I have in the past.
And
Now, I don't know if I
Yeah.
regret it necessarily. I mean, I definitely saw it from a different perspective than everyone else. Like, especially when everyone was like, "Oh my God, my wellness points are going away. Oh my God, people are posting terrible things." Like,
And I
yeah,
feel
so-
like sometimes having to play catch up because of my work schedule pulled me out of it a little bit because it was that feeling of, oh my gosh, what have I missed? Okay, just give me the rundown. Like, what have I missed?
Yeah.
What can I look up? What can I do this so I can catch up to where everybody else is so I don't feel like because, I've got 30 minutes to try to catch up on the things I've missed over 2 days. And there's something really nice about being able to just, in the smaller experiences where it's just happening based
Yeah.
and not where I can just throw myself in 110% and just become fully immersed in it.
yeah,
And so I feel like there were times when I was a little bit jealous of not being able to feel as immersed as I wanted to be during the weeks, because most of the stuff that was happening online was during the work week. And then on the weekends, like my time to catch up was generally Friday nights and Saturdays and stuff, when all of that stuff had already happened for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I think it being taken out of it during the week, like in When Shadows Fall, if you're trying to steal something from Nikolai's office and Nikolai walks in, that's gonna have consequences in the game.
Yeah.
But like, if I didn't vote when they called, if I didn't, like,
Things still happen.
yeah, things happened regardless of if I was involved.
But then again, for people who had those moments to be immersed every single day completely, I mean, that had to have been a really unique, special, wonderful experience.
It was. Nina says the thing that affected her was the real connections and conversations with individuals rather than solely your game related.
Oh, same.
Yeah,
I think the
again, Nina, I'm sorry.
Nina, I'm sorry.
I'm still gonna couch this with a little bit of suspicion until Tuesday. You know what? I'm just gonna come out and say this. I don't know if you're a player or if you're part of this. Hence my issue.
Just hold that up to the camera right now.
Because like,
Show us on the planet where Nina touched you.
it's all over. It's all over. Hold on. Yeah, I know. That's the whole point.
You tinker.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's because I interrogated you.
I remember Nina. I asked Nina, "How was your night?" She's like, "Oh, people are just telling me I'm a demon," and I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Okay, I never said she was a demon. I did, however, accuse her of being Taylor. I did accuse her of being V at one point. Nolan, Megan.
You accuse her of being everyone.
I accused her of being Watcher, like the collective hive mind. And yeah, I'm so. If you are a player, I am so sorry. But I think the issue was that like, and Scribe has to take some of the blame on this.
I'm sorry, what?
Because like right off the bat, I did. That was the hive mind. Yeah, I accused her of being multiple people simultaneously.
You accused her of being how many people?
I accused her of being a collective, like a group of people.
Hive mind.
So you were like, Nina, you are 5 people.
No, I said, Nina, I think that I've noticed that like your speech patterns change, your information seems doesn't stay consistent,
Yeah.
and also the time zones they keep changing. I'm starting to think you're not just one person, but instead a collective of people portraying Nina.
Yeah.
Wait, what does your shirt say again?
Hashtag Team Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah, okay.
So
Just checking.
again, if you're a player, I am so sorry, and I look forward to actually getting to know who you are. But so help me God, if you're part of this, I'm going to be so incredibly upset. Because and I talked to Nina about this. The mole.
The mole.
When you and I were like analyzing like pictures, and you were like, "Oh my God!" So this is the first time we saw that Taylor has a mole right there, and all of her other pictures and all the videos, it's mysteriously covered up. And in this
Like day 3?
yeah, that was why I
Day 3?
that was why that was why
Yeah, but then my opinion changed.
Well,
We
no.
didn't talk about it again.
Shortly thereafter, I accused her of being Taylor, and then I said, "Are you checking me out?" I think it was.
Yeah.
And then and then she kept accusing me of analyzing every word she says, which, to be fair, I absolutely am and was.
You boys have certainly provided me with.
Much entertainment.
I'm so happy, Nina.
I'm glad we could be of service.
I want to answer the question, and to answer this question, I'm going to let my theater nerd out a little bit.
Oh no.
The boys have been listening to this one particular musical called the Addams Family Musical, and one of the songs they listen to is called "Happy Sad," and it's this song about how
there's a little bit of darkness mixed with light as how it's one of his favorite emotions. And so the thing that I took away from this, I don't think I've ever been angrier than I was at certain points of this game.
Yes.
I was furious fairly recently, and a few people talked me down. I don't think I've ever been happier playing a game than I was playing this game. So I think of this lyric.
I lost sleep over this game. Like there were nights where I did not sleep because I was trying to figure out who the fuck is Nina.
So here's the lyric, ready? In every heaven you'll find some hell, and there's a welcome in each farewell. Life can be harsh, the future strict. Oh, what they'll predict. So let's be happy, forever happy, completely happy, and just a tiny bit sad. Like, and I feel like that's connections to me. With We Connect and all of it, like there's still the part of me that acknowledges a darkness that I've managed to shy away from for years online. Like and a that I am grateful for pointing out and still terrified that it was pointed out to me. You know, it's like finding out that Santa isn't real. Like there's a darkness.
Oh,
What?
You started it. Oh, jeez. Okay.
What?
You tell him. You tell him.
That Santa isn't really like
He doesn't
not magical.
always live at the North
He's
Pole.
super magical.
He has a summer
He's
home.
uber magical.
It's in Florida.
Gosh.
Can we go see him?
Yes, we can go see him. Yes, we can go see him.
Come here. Come here. I need you in frame.
Hello.
Yeah.
So what was the question was something to take away? That was the question was?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the biggest thing, this is one part that I'm always gonna remember, and I texted you right after it happened, is Friday, when I FaceTimed Emma,
Oh yeah.
and you guys went, oh, it's Bliss, and like 6-7 people ran up to the camera saying, hi Bliss, I cried.
Aww.
I literally, the moment the camera went off, cried. Because I'm just like, I'm an intern, I don't go places. So that many people.
Liz is a big old softie.
So when that many people run up to say hi to me, or like, I love you, blah, blah, I'm just like, I don't know how to handle it. And it makes me real, so that the biggest thing to take away from this for me is that there are a lot of people who I care about and also care about
Is that
me.
why you dropped the call?
That's why I dropped the call, because I was crying. I was like, I can't cry in front of people. That's honestly what it was. Like, that's the biggest thing from this entire thing. Is like, wow, these people actually care about me, and I actually care about them. We connect.
We love you guys. We love you a lot.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Friday, even though I won't be there in person. I will be there in spirit. And then anybody that wants to, that lives in Lake County, like open invitation. You can come over here. We'll order some pizzas. And then I will say this: if anybody wants to make the trek out,
Santa is watcher.
Santa is watching. Definitely.
Also, Santa is watching.
I love that. I really do consider my time spent with all of you amazing
Absolutely precious.
and precious, and I'm looking forward to getting that tattoo. I'm looking forward
I
to
want it right here.
getting some answers on Friday.
You know, shouldn't we just get like a series of chains?
Once you finally.
I was honestly thinking about getting us, like, for the next production, like you and I may have to, and you included, we may have to start getting jackets with patches, like a Republic patch.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Like almost like merit badges, and then we just start.
Here's the
going
show
from
you
there.
get
It's just gonna be like Girl
We
Scouts.
should get sashes. No, dude.
Girl Scout
No.
sashes.
End of conversation. We're getting sashes.
Oh my gosh. With
Are you singing a Leslie Cause?
Yes, I'm seeing. I'm
Oh my
precious. Actually.
gosh.
We can do this over. Nina, yes. Once the gag order becomes removed, we can have another stream, and like I said,
Yes.
tune in on Friday.
Well, Sunday I thought.
Tune in on Friday for the Q&A and stuff like that, because we'll be able to talk about that. But the Connections Collective is not going anywhere.
Thank you, Emma. That's so
Thank you,
sweet. Thank you
Emma.
for the bits. The Connections Collective is not going anywhere. We are still going to be around. We're still going to stream. We're looking into getting like a presence set up. There's still work to be done. The revolution is still up and effective, and so I think, So I don't want We Connect to go anywhere. And Nina, you still have work to do. So we need to talk about what charities we can support and what sort of difference we can actually make out in this world, and take some of this fire and sort of spread
Aww.
it. So
Green Tom says, and one of you needs a tattoo that says #we, and the other says connect. So you can
that's awesome. All right, so which one do you want? You meant.
That's cool. We're good.
I got you, man. We'll go.
See, we can't do it because if we stop being friends, then I'm just gonna walk around with a #we the rest of my life.
He loves peeing. It's just a huge we.
I'm really fond of French culture.
No.
#we.
Yes.
It's spelled differently.
Oh, there it is. I broke Addie.
We broke her.
Emma, yes, we still have work to do. The charities we talked about. We've got a charity that I think we're going to go ahead and introduce one on Sunday that we're going to talk about and just keep this We Connect thing going. So
Actually, to go back to something earlier, speaking of LARPs,
You can stream for
Emma,
You can. All the bits go.
do you want to talk about that? The thing we discussed
what?
About
for 2020?
2020.
A 2020 thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Maybe she's.
Okay. Well, there's also like a little bit of a delay from when.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Oh, she
Emma
said go
says
for it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Do you want to drop some?
Oh, we will. Last Friday, well, this past Friday,
Okay.
After the happening, we all went out to dinner,
Yeah.
which is where I learned to make these wonderful
Delicious
drinks.
peach.
By the way, we're drinking
Oh my
what's called
gosh.
an Irish peach.
Except mine's
Yeah,
gone.
mine's gone as
Go
well.
on, too.
We'll refresh before Jackbox. Anyways,
Okay.
and I spent probably a good 2 hours afterwards talking with Emma, and she told me about something that she used to do called Level 1 Adventurers, where you come as yourself
Okay.
and with what you know to a campground, and you basically have an adventure as yourself, like D&D style
Continue.
adventure. And apparently they skipped it for this past year or for this upcoming year, but she has informed me that they are planning on running it in late January of 2020, and I believe we're all invited except Bliss, right? She's not allowed.
I'm not allowed to go. I'm in exiled. It's okay. I have a very nice lady named Rose. I'm helping out.
Take my money.
Yeah, they've done it for three years so far. They're skipping this next year, as in 2020.
Take my money now.
Yes, and.
Yeah. So lots of
gosh.
lots of fun, cool stuff on
Oh.
Can I do a thing?
You can announce something.
That's all the announcements we have for tonight.
Junkie, thank you so much for the bits as well. We love you. Oh,
No,
we
no.
appreciate you too.
I agree. No Bliss in your tent.
Bliss in the tent.
Go ahead, sweetie. What
I ran into a very nice lady the other day
okay.
named Rose, who might need some help here soon, and even left a little note for William today.
It was found on my doorstep.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll do an unveiling of that on Sunday.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know all the details. I know she might need some help here soon.
All right.
Anyway.
So we'll hear more on
Hashtag conspiracy
Sunday.
theory. Who is Rose?
Rose is Watcher.
Rose
That's it.
And she's Santa.
Rose is Watcher, Santa, and Nolan.
I don't know if I like that.
I will
You don't have to.
No,
Because
she's
one
the
is
real
the
Nolan,
id,
not
one
the
is
Nolan
the
you
ego.
met.
No, you can't go back to
The
that.
real Nolan.
We love you guys so much. I would totally play Jackbox, but I'm just exhausted. You know, we can
that's
play
okay.
if you want
Well,
to.
we can always, if you want, we can always just do one game and end.
We could do that.
We don't even have to now. What I can do is I can click end on this stream and restart, and that way anybody who has to watch the
Tell
video
you what,
later has
let's
this.
do a show of hands in the chat. How many people
Yeah.
do we have hanging out? You put your damn hand down.
He's gonna get in the chat now, and he's gonna put his hand up in the chat.
Does anybody want to do some Jackbox? Is anybody at home and just being like, this is fun, let's get a game going? Because I could totally make that happen. And by me,
We don't have any questions plugged in, so we'll just have to do regular Jackbox, but
yeah,
that's okay.
Chameleon is
That's still
amazing,
fun.
and
Add a
okay,
Jackbox.
yeah, that's-
Okay.
Wow, that Audi person
All right.
wants to too.
So then, what I'll do to make it easier for people.
Junkie, you got it.
Actually, I guess I don't need to cut it down and restart it. We'll just leave it all together.
Yeah,
that's
shoot some
fine.
Jackbox.
It's not like people who are like, I don't
Do
want
we
to
want
watch
to
Jackbox, can't
do
just cut it off.
drink refill?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll do
I'll-
that.
I'll
Take little breaks
refill
to do
drinks.
Drink refills, and I will get Jackbox switched
We'll
over.
do a
and
5-minute
then
5-minute
We'll do a
intermission?
5-minute intermission.
Still on sweet, or do you want sweet?
Go get your own
Let's
drink.
do sweet this time. Or we're gonna go get drinks. Go get drinks at home. Come back. We're gonna do some Jackbox games. And we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Hi, everybody. We are back. Thank you so much. Appreciate the act break. We got some more tamarind martinis. We gave plants a little bit of water. And
then a little bit of tamarind martini.
and a little bit of tamarind martini. Tell you what I'll do. So we're going to do some Jackbox games. I think we're going to start with some Trivia Murder Party. So, so get your trivia on. So in just a second, before she switches over to the
Now let me make sure my settings are correct.
green,
That should be
she's
right.
also going to go into the room before she switches over so that this is on the main screen so that we can log in first and have some control over the
That's
room.
clever. Look at that.
Yeah, so
Ah,
you're gonna see us.
No.
You're gonna see us, and then we're gonna go from there. There we go. No,
Oh wait, what? Room requires Twitch login.
Oh God. Hold on.
Make sure you log in through Twitch if you're going to join in.
There you go.
Ah, dang it. Okay,
Indigo is in first, so she is in control of the
No,
room.
I didn't mean to be.
No,
Can I
you
get out?
no, you are in control of the room.
Right.
Just like our marriage, you are the one with all the control.
Okay, guys.
Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm in.
Cool.
Undo typing. What typing? I didn't type anything. Go when you're drunk. Go home.
Oh, I have to figure out how to pull
Oh
up
my
the
god, you
volume
guys are gonna
again.
kick my ass at trivia.
You don't even know, man.
I play trivia craft on a daily basis.
Yeah,
Dude, you're one of the most intelligent people I know. I could
Really?
recall this.
God, you don't know very many intelligent people then.
I know intelligent people. I'm married to an intelligent person.
That's an insult to her, putting me in
She
her caliber.
doesn't. She didn't hear it. I'm married to an intelligent person.
I'm really hoping that the audio comes through this time because I can't remember how I got the audio up last time.
You turn the TV up.
Did I?
You did. Yep.
This is literally it.
You can do that now if you'd like.
Okay, let's try that.
Zugi's like, hi. I'm here too.
Cool. We got multiple players. Oh,
Ooh.
that you're gonna die. That's good. That's
Okay.
good.
Thanks for stopping on an even number. I appreciate that.
I am freaking out because I do multiples of 5 for mine.
Multiple
Like it has that in a 5 or a 0.
Do not put it at a 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Brackets. Edward will remember this bracket.
I don't know.
Telltale. This is our Telltale game.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Or I could also do Edward disliked this greatly. When we do our scroll.
All right, going once, going twice.
Dragon Age.
Sold.
We done?
Who do we have? We have Audie. We have Emma.
I'm the green dude.
There you go. I love it.
All the important people.
All the important people. And Edward.
What did I say?
Okay, you were right. Jeez.
You should just say it one more time.
It's not here very often.
Somebody pay attention to the chat.
Indigo Sham.
Wake up. Wake up.
See, I don't like this game because there are ways you can lose for nothing you
Welcome
can
to
do.
Trivia Night, a dark reckoning. Or at least that's how I described it on the Facebook event. I'm going to ask you a bunch of trivia questions. If you get
in your
questions
ear.
wrong, you have to fight for your life.
I mean, technically it's in
One
your
of my
throat.
super fun mini games. If you do badly in the mini game, I'll kill you. But don't worry, ghosts can still win the game. When players left alive, we'll go to the final round where the living and dead compete to see who can escape first. And you can always be in the audience. It's just as deadly. Am I still explaining how to play this game? Let's just actually play it. Okay, first question. Ooh, maybe we'll play this game later. It's a great team building exercise. Who can switch role cards with another player while eyes are closed in the game One Night Ultimate Werewolf? Use your device to answer the question. And the correct answer is...
Oh, I should
Right.
know this. I played this game.
Oh, damn it.
Just with you.
I know I'm dead.
Oh.
You went into that, right?
Welcome to the killing floor.
You guys are really bad at this.
You know what?
Just wait, okay?
I'm going to
Just
ask
wait.
you a question. So put a little thought into this. It's important.
Yeah.
If you could only see one animal at the zoo, what would it be?
Man.
Maybe you want the
Type
worst
an answer on
answer.
your device and press send.
No,
when
the
you're
worst
finished.
answer gets killed.
What?
Not necessarily. Do we get to vote? I think we get to vote. What are you writing?
I didn't win.
Oh, it was only Emma and I that got
Because you
it.
and Emma.
Emma, we're good at this game.
Now everyone gets to vote. Pick which of these answers you hate the most. Whoever wrote the answer with the
What does it say?
most
A
votes
rhino? A
dies.
rhino?
I think it's supposed to say a rhino.
Seriously, pick one you just don't like.
I'm picking mine based on spelling.
I picked mine based on what I thought was the worst.
The votes are in.
You guys suck.
I'm sorry, it was just kind of a boring answer.
You're a fucking boring answer.
I mean, if you pick like a sea turtle,
At a zoo?
And boom, you're
Would be
done.
an
aquariums are a type of
Playing,
zoo.
and I promise you could still win.
They're an underwater
That is
zoo.
not the end.
Aquariums are underwater.
You can have an elephant in an aquarium. I mean, it'd be
It's
dead, but
early,
you can
but
have
here are your
it.
scores. But don't get too high or too low because you're all doomed. Remember?
No, come here.
Oh, okay, that's fine. She is yours.
Next question.
He is the big secret whisperer.
Whose real name is Stephen Morris?
Oh, fuck. Shot in the dark. You can't Google it, Emma.
Come on, Emma.
Who picked this?
I did not pick Stevie Wonder. Nope.
Was y'all gonna die?
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, boy.
Welcome back to the killing floor.
Damn cup thing, isn't it?
It's time to express yourself.
Yes.
I want to see some masterpieces from you, pickies.
I'm a horrible guy.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. Eating bacon.
Draw this thing as best as you can and press send when you're finished.
Jerk face stinker.
Now everyone gets to vote.
Who called me a
Pick the
jerk?
drawing that you hate
Emma.
the most.
Like weeping.
Pick the drawing that makes you kind of angry.
Is somebody shitting on that dude's stats?
I think it might
I
be.
don't know what's happening.
I think that
there.
might be.
The votes are in. Time to punish the artist.
Oh,
Both of you died.
Oh my god. I dodged a bullet there.
I was going to put all the drawings on my fridge
you put-
after yours.
was it-
I
it
decided
was
I don't take my
Shit on
fridge that
Deborah's
much.
desk.
Like,
Nice.
boss.
I did. I went Michael Scott.
That's where I would
Number
take
one
my
boss.
fridge out.
Well,
I've got more questions for you.
Well, you're already dead.
Which foul-mouthed comedian hosted the kids show Thomas and Friends?
Looking at this.
I don't know this.
I actually do know this.
Who said this one?
He was the
I thought it was
engineer.
Introduce correct.
He
Oh,
was still alive.
hickory
Let's play
dickory.
it.
I think I'm gonna die. I don't think I can not die here.
We're going to play Chalices.
Oh no!
Give each safe player a poison pellet.
Oh, there's only one person. Oh no, there's
Pick
four.
a chalice to poison.
Oh no. Oh no.
Gosh darn it.
Who didn't? So we're waiting on someone.
I'm probably waiting on Emma.
Not me.
Now it's your turn to play. Pick a chalice to drink from.
Like a chalice.
I mean, there's only
Can't wait to see
one
what gets picked.
correct choice here,
Don't
which
forget.
is the cup of a carpenter.
Yummy, yummy. Now let's see what everyone drank.
Nope.
Wow.
Which one? Did you pick
You got
the right one
poison,
from the
son.
movie?
Yeah.
That's the one I poisoned, of course.
You monster.
I picked the other one because clearly
Poison,
he wouldn't pick
just like that
this
picture.
chalice.
Hamlet
I should have just picked the one that looked like it was already poisoned, the green one.
Emma's the only one alive, guy.
Just one remains? Well, I'm not done partying out here, so let's hold off on the end game. for
Emma's
just
not
a little
drinking,
bit.
so-
Okay, Sugarbeat? If you can survive 2 more questions, everyone goes to the final round.
Oh.
Emma, don't die.
Alright, next question.
Stop Googling answers.
What is used for an O on those coexist bumper stickers?
Which one?
Ooh, I think I was wrong. Shoot.
I'd say, which one? Because there are a couple of them.
There are a couple of them.
I see
Who
you.
picked this one?
Oh god.
I did not.
I've also seen
That was
that.
I put the moon because in the planetary one it is the moon.
It is the moon.
So that's bullshit.
Here's another one. Not that you can see it down here, but... How long does it take?
I know
something
this
to reach
answer.
Earth?
I know this too, I think. Hang on, let me see. Yep, I know this one.
Who said?
Yep.
Yes.
Y'all.
Too easy.
I know about that from a
Well, look who's
book.
still alive.
I know about that.
You
It's
just
my
have
job.
to escape with your body.
There was a book I read where that was a part of it.
American Idol winners. Tap on each answer that fits, then press submit. Let's see the right answers. You move forward 1 space for every correct answer.
Nope.
You're getting so close to the exit. Oh, did I mention that all the other ghosts get to play too? If a ghost catches up to you, then they will steal your body. Then they can escape and win the game. Here's everyone's next question. And ghosts get a third choice to help them catch up to you.
I knew they all three were.
Song on Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
On the benefit of Mr. Kite, we will have a show tonight.
On trampoline. Oh, I got half of it.
Coming for you,
Kill
Emma.
your friend and come back to life. It's the only way. Beware of the
Ooh.
darkness.
Oh, bye guys.
Chemical elements.
Come on, Emma.
Join us forever.
Never and never and never.
Decisions, decisions.
Emma.
You were literally the only person we're waiting on.
She's got lag.
She does have lag to deal with.
I'm going to have to punish my writers.
So close.
Novels written by women.
You thought the line looks from wardrobe was written by
This is gonna get you.
Hold on. You thought the line looks from wardrobe was?
No, I didn't know To Kill a Mockingbird was.
States of Mexico.
Yeah, Harper Lee.
Oh,
Bye, guys.
I think I got it. Yep.
Killed your friend. Better get away fast.
I'm right behind you, dude.
Instruction in the Jaja slide.
Oh shit.
Yep.
That'll do it.
Coming for you, motherfucker. What?
Oh!
Oh, outies. Oh, fuck.
Instagram filters.
I don't know.
We've been on Instagram for the past 6 weeks. Come on, guys. I don't know either.
Oh, I got that way wrong.
Indigo's gonna catch her. You better
Here
hurry.
comes the next question. Ironies in Alanis Morissette's Ironic.
Really?
Bye,
Yep.
guys.
I don't remember that one. Oh, shit.
It all rides on this.
No way.
Oh my
She's
god.
gonna make it out.
Yeah, she won.
Emma.
Oh, we should go to bed. It's like 11 o'clock at night, guys.
So?
I know. Some of us have to be up at 6:30 in the morning.
She said, "Suck it, nerds." JK, I love you all.
Maybe we should just do it like one of these nights. Like when this is all over, we'll just do a crazy, like, complete Jackbox night.
I'm okay with
Like
that.
all we do
I'm
is
just, I'm
Jackbox.
very tired.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
you all.
I will point out, I can. Well, you have Dread on Saturdays, right?
Yes, but I don't play every.
Oops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
What'd you do?
That was my fault. I accidentally clicked off Jackbox.
All right,
I meant
Emma,
to switch.
we love you. Everybody that's still around, you 4 viewers, we love you so much. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
You're amazing.
Bye.